I'm done keeping things all to myself. I'm ready to speak up. It starts with me, and it starts now. No longer a lone voice, standing in the crowd. It's time to level the playing field. I'm a warrior, I've got nerves of steel. I'm done walking through your minefields. It starts with me, and it starts now.
You're listening to Big Blend Radio with Nancy Reed and Lisa Smith, the mother-daughter travel team and publishers of Big Blend magazines. And you just heard Rise, the brand new single by Raleigh, North Carolina singer-songwriter Nicki Kris. And she's back on Big Blend Radio with us today to talk about the song and also Heartbeat, her other single that's recently released. Go to her website, nikkikris.com. It's NICKIKRIS.com. See, I can spell.
Good for you.
But some politicians may not. Welcome back, Nicki. How are you?
I am awesome, and thank you so much for having me back.
Oh, man, we're so excited about this. And Rise, it just, I watched it the first time, and it's like the fuel to the fire, and it just kind of really makes you really want to stand up and rise up and say, hello, we will not have this anymore. And I think it's important, not just for us to remember that we do have a platform to speak. We do have a right to vote. We do have a right to speak our mind. We have that. But I also think it's important that us women connect with each other to rise each other up instead of not. What do you think about that?
No, I totally agree. I mean, and this was the reason why I decided to let this single out now rather than wait for the album to come out in February, because I actually drafted it in March in response to a lot of the Me Too stuff that was going on. And then with all of the Kavanaugh hearings and just seeing what was going on in the media and some of the things that, in my opinion, are extremely unpresidential, I had to release it now, because I think that us as women, we really do need to band together. You know, and even seeing people like Taylor Swift, you know, backing certain political parties, and really a lot of the entertainment industry now starting to speak out and stand up. I just think myself, as an entertainer, as a mom, as a voter, as a woman, you know, I was like, you know what, that's it. I'm not keeping my mouth shut anymore, and I'm going to use this to empower those around me to, hey, we need to come together, and we need to fight this. We need to speak. We need to use our voices to influence change, and that's what this song is all about.
Rise. I love the title and then that message of rise. Nancy,
I know. I just want to say that
itchy-footed here.
No, I am, because we spent so many years living in countries where, because we were not, we were legal there, but we weren't citizens of. We did not have the right to vote. So you would see the injustices, like every country has, believe me. But you couldn't do anything about it other than we could do it in the press as a magazine. We could do that, but we could not go and vote. And it was really frustrating, because, you know, I suffer from American brain. Even in a different country, I think, well, we have this right, so I get to go use it. And then you find out, no, you can't.
Right.
And it's kind of like, whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean? And so when you do have a right and you don't use it, it is, to me, like you just gave it to the side you don't like the most.
Yeah.
If you don't use your vote, and I don't care what party, I really don't, because I'm more on a personal, person-to-person basis, and what's right and what's wrong. I would never vote down party lines. I really don't care. In fact, I would like a purple party, because I'm sick of the red and blue.
I like purple.
Yes.
And pink.
I want purple with butterflies. No,
gold.
No, you know, that sounds stupid, but I don't care about parties, because that's just a money industry.
Right.
That's all it is. I care about the idea that you have a personal vote, and if you don't use it,
you are giving it to someone else.
You're giving it to someone else, and probably not the person that you want to give it to. And so I love this whole premise of just go, dude, how long does it take? You know?
Yeah. I love that you talk about that. And being personal. The video that you did of Rise is so intimate and personal, and I know you were doing some other things too with it. And then this is where you landed with it. And I think it was perfect that it was just you being very connected with us, the audience, one-on-one. Like I felt like you were in my living room, like a girl chat. Like I can say, like, girl, you know, this stuff happened to me over here, man. I don't, you know. But you're like, hey, no, it's time. And you're very direct in our eyes. Like you're looking us in the eye. And I think that is the quality. And then the quotes you're running, you know, from Oprah and Maya Angelou and Ayn Rand, and you know, you've got all these amazing people who have done things on all sides that people use them on, just saying. And I thought that was smart, but it was just really this very simple song, but it's very powerful. It moved me to tears.
Oh, you're so
time. No, it really moved me to tears, because I think there's a frustration for women, and but when you can hear something like, hey, something was written for you by a woman for women, and there's the voting part, right? But then it's also it's like we need a blankie, man, as we start to stand up and fight.
Well, exactly. I mean, and this is where, you know, I mean, you know, I sit here and a lot of people, and I'm expecting to get, you know, a lot of flack, honestly, from the song and from the video, just because, I mean, you know how it is, right? I mean, you know that a lot of people are very much party line, but I'm the same way. I may be registered one or the other. However, I'm going to vote for who I think is going to do what's right? And for me, I'm sorry, but our current administration is not doing what is right in my mind for me or for my children. The propagating hate and propagating things, against a particular gender or against, somebody who may not have the same religion as them or however it may be, separating children from their parents. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
Yes, we could. I mean, we've had 2 years of this.
Well, exactly. And I really think that this election, this midterm election is critical and it's key. And what's really, really interesting is that some of the Republicans are not, they're not running again because they've made statements saying that it's not, there's no incentive for them to reach across the line. And I'm like, well, how did we get to this point?
Exactly.
You're saying there's no incentive to compromise? Well, wait a minute. Our entire history, our country's history has always been based on compromise, and it's been based on, doing the right thing. All of a sudden, that's completely out the window. Well, you know what? Not anymore, right?
Do you feel like it's almost like, we've talked about this on shows about climate change and what's happening in the environment and also families, and you think about, kids being torn away. And to me, at the end of the day, you're torn away from your family. And it's like, that's wrong. I mean, I don't care.
It is wrong.
The circumstance, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way.
Right.
And everyone can fight over the circumstance, but the reality, there's a better way. I mean, we live here on the border. We know what it's like on the border.
I know. It's so crazy.
Stuff happens, but not like what is being deemed as talk about overinflated. That big doll that floats through the sky sometimes at events, that big orange doll. Well, that's what it feels like. But but when you look at what happens with women, it's like this stuff is coming out, and I feel like it's something we've talked about on numerous shows that we're going through. It's like the big boil of the pimple is about to burst, and then eventually we can have a clearing. I feel like we have a giant boil. It's like, you remember the Get Ahead in Advertising movie with Michael Keaton with the big boil on his shoulder?
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Pop it.
I know.
Like when the French gave us the Statue of Liberty, it was for a reason. And the premise of this country was, give us you're tired, you're weak, and you're poor, not you're rich, fat cats belonging to a political party who pay off other people for favors. That's not what it said.
No, I know. I mean,
if I were the French at this point, I'd probably say, we want our statue back.
Exactly. You know what? I'm going to go back to the comment that we've said multiple times. I want the aliens to come down and invade us.
Are we back to the aliens again?
We are, because I'm seriously saying.
I talk to them all the time when they're like, "Hey, we ain't touching that."
We were just saying that with Adam Roberts on the climate change. I'm like, that is our alien.
No, I always think about this, that we feel like, okay, we're the world, the universe, and then there's space, and then I always think we know so little about things right here on our planet. We know so little at this time. We know a lot, but we know little compared to what's out there. We have no idea what our pollution is doing to other planets.
That's true.
We have no idea.
And it's the same attitude.
And to say, oh, there are no other planets because scientists haven't found them, is to me, well, take us back a couple 100 years or 1,000 years where we didn't know anything and lived in caves. It takes time to learn. So I feel like this is just one of those learning curves.
And we have to stand up, otherwise we don't get through the lesson. We don't, and
Right.
us women don't really need a lesson, other than, sorry, but sorry, but I'm talking about the boil, the alien, the boil and the alien are maybe together, but I think aliens are nicer than boils.
I hope so.
Oh
God, I hope so. But when you look at this, you know, when you bring this up in your song Rise, and especially watch the video, people, you bring up that it's not about just what's happening now, but what is our children, and then the future of their children. Like this is generational. Look how long it takes, and sometimes it seems really, oh, that was just around the corner, but it wasn't. 1940 was not that long ago.
No,
Right.
not at all.
You know, when women suddenly, oh, Rosie the Riveter, yay, yes, we kicked butt, and we were always able to kick butt and have kicked butt for centuries. But now, because it's this, you know, war that's going on, women now finally got like some visualization. People got to see women at work, see something. And the way the world had changed, women's faces got put everywhere on posters, and the famous Rosie the Riveter, you know, posters, really, that's really what it is. They're going out there to everybody. We didn't have that in the past as much. Now we have it, and you think about how long ago that was. It wasn't, but it is in a way, and how the women have continued to struggle on the same thing. And we need to stop it. I mean, we're at this point, you know, where we need to stop it. It's been going on for centuries.
Yep.
And because it's up here right now, we have this opportunity to say that's enough. We haven't had that as much, like that opportunity as much as, you know, we may think. It's been there, but it's not that easy to navigate on your own. You don't win on your own.
Well, exactly. I mean, and that's really what, you know, Rise is all about. It's, you know, and and I keep pulling. I've kind of had these series of songs, right? But you know, I mean, I pulled from Captain America, the tagline that I was using there with, you know, one voice may not be heard, but millions together will not be silenced. I mean, it's really the same, right? You know, I mean, one woman speaking, you know, a lot of times gets ignored, but there's millions of us. And this isn't just a U.S. plight, because I have women from all over the world that, you know, give me similar stories and have said similar comments. This is a global, you know, I don't want to say fight, but you know, it's a global inequality, and all of us together just think of the impact that we could potentially do if we banded together and united.
And not bicker on each other, because
well, exactly.
There are some things that us women have to sort out. I'm just
yes,
we got to do some house cleaning too.
But
that's natural.
That's the same on both sides.
Yeah,
male and female.
I feel like they are the big boil, which would be that big puffy old white man sitting up there on his throne. And there's many of them, not just one. There's many of them, and they can come in different colors, but they're all that type. That it's that patriarchy side where it's like, here I am, you know, and I will, you know, dictate what you do, and this is how you will behave, and I can get away with it. And then there's a lot of women that will follow that, which I don't understand, but they do, because they just haven't had that education. There's fear, and everybody has a different. Sometimes it happens in a different lifetime. Who knows? They come through, but when you know that you're not alone, you can make a bigger stand. And that's what I love about Rise. But we are at this point where I think we're going to overthrow the giant papa. It's time for the big papa to go.
Yes, it's time for the huge. Yes, it is. It's time
the daddy.
to go. Yep.
That sounds terrible, but that patriarchy thing, and women have been hiding so many things and always had to be the quiet one. You know that most of wine is made by women. So many winemakers. How many times do you hear about the woman winemaker or the woman brewer? You know, how many times? Not compared to how many men. You know, so that
we're supposed to be one of two things: the weaker sex, because we're physically not usually as strong or as big as a man, and the fairer sex if you're talking sex. So it's the fairer sex because now that's sexy, or the weaker one when it serves your purpose. And we're rarely viewed on the same level as a man because we're either weaker or fairer.
Right.
And when it comes to brain power, sorry, I think we're right there. When it comes to getting things done, I think we're more than there. And it is time not to be ignored and taken advantage of. And yes, if you're dumb enough to go up to a guy's room when you're drunk in the hotel, yeah, you're going to get taken advantage of. Yeah, don't get drunk. Don't do that. But a guy can get drunk and that's fine. It is, where does the responsibility lie for your own actions, or where does the responsibility lie with the man? Just saying that it's a two-way street on both sides.
Yep.
Time to dethrone. Okay.
Smash patriarchy.
We really, women have been behind all the time because I think it comes from the Bible with we didn't get a rib till
now we're going to get it, Nikki.
No, because we had to go to Adam and take one of his kind of stuff. People can never prove that. They can think it, love it, and obey it or whatever, but you weren't there, so you don't really know. So it's kind of a
Nikki, we're going to get in trouble now, aren't we?
Yeah, I know. You might want
to just look at what is now.
I know. Yeah, let's go that. Yeah.
Sorry.
I know, but at the end of the day, this brings up all these things, right?
Well, it does. It does.
Yeah,
it does.
And the conversation needs to be had, and not everybody's right or wrong. You know what I mean? So the conversation has to be had. I think that's one of the things. I think that's just the beauty of art and music and writing, that the arts open up those doors for communication and for change. And I think you've definitely done that. I know with Captain America coming out, Heartbeat. Talk about that, because you took it, and even Falling to Pieces, when you listen to that song, we play that all the time on the show, play Captain America, and Heartbeat is like another one that just comes in and says, hey, I'm going to say something, but man, that's different, man. That's a whole different turn on your music. You just like, I'm going to go on this route here, and it's awesome.
Oh, thanks.
It's like a world vibe to it. I love it. But you did like, hey, I'm going on a detour here. Tell us about that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it basically went down more of a darker path, right? So we did that one. It's a follow-on to Captain America, but it takes it from the perspective. This was just when all the Me Too stuff just started happening. And it was during around the same time as what was going on. It might have been the Charlottesville stuff going on in North Carolina. And, the commander-in-chief, I don't even want to say his name because I'm just going to get angry. He was making all these comments, and, we're sitting there and we're just like, oh my God, you're such an embarrassment. That's really just how I felt. as I'm sitting here going, you're the president of the United States, and you know what? I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to be a citizen of this country because your conduct is, in my opinion, not becoming of a president. The things that come out of your mouth are horrendous, and I don't understand, where this, I'm going, where does this stuff come from? And the song takes that path of, gosh, what did he do today?
It's shocking.
Right. It's shocking. It's like, what did he do today? What did he say today?
That's what I'm saying. We could do like because it's been almost 2 years. And it's like, how they do, like, CNN does this thing of like, here's your, the 1990s. And then they'll do like this part, that part. Well, no, if you try to do the last 2 years, you're going to still have to do like a series a day, because it's like insane every single day.
What's so insane to me is people accept it.
Well, exactly. I mean, and that's really, that was why we decided to write something along those lines, and but then also sit there and say, you know what, we will fix this. We will fix this. We may feel like, we're being drawn out to sea here, caught up in your riptide, right? But, somewhere along the line, we will fix it. And, that's, hopefully we're going to start fixing it on November 6th.
Yeah, everybody. Booyah. Do it.
Booyah.
Do it. And you're still working with Kevin McNulty, right? Because
yes.
Both songs. Yeah.
Yep.
I'd love to see the directions you're taking, because doing the singles, and then I know you're working on this album, which we're very excited for. Get on, move on with it. Come on now.
I am. Well, no, it'll be out in February. It'll be out in February. Yeah, and like I said, I didn't want to put Rise out because, it's one of the new ones on there. So we've done some funky things we've done a couple of remixes with some of the older songs. And then there'll be new stuff on it too. So, yeah. Cool. Yeah.
I love Heartbeat, and we're going to play that next. And everyone go to NickiKris.com and keep up with her. And if you've got nasty emails for us, we'll bring it.
No.
Yeah, I know. Really.
No,
I toast to you for that, though, for actually standing up and making a stand. Because it's about peace.
How about before you send a nasty email, you actually stop and think? Like I want to give a real quick, really good example of you think he's okay and you voted for him and because you're Republican, so you did it anyway. But at the end of the day, when he starts to actually hurt your business, i.e., let's close the Mexican border, we know so many businesses that depend on people who cross the border every day to go to work. Think about that. Think about that. Who are you going to hire now? And how fast you're going to have to do it. Because if he closes the border, there's a whole bunch of industries, mostly restaurants and hotels, are going to be in lots of trouble.
Yep.
Who you're going to hire and how fast you're going to train them. Think about that next time you vote.
And what about our food?
Well, exactly.
Yep, food.
It's not well thought out. It's like he's still playing apprentice. That's really what it is.
Yeah, that's a very, very good analogy. It is almost like he's playing a,
it's a role.
A TV. It's a role. Yep. Yep.
Wow. Well, I appreciate you standing up and as a woman, as a singer-songwriter, writing music, what you believe in and putting your heart out there and doing it, because I think that's what it takes. I think it takes for us to be strong, to stand up, say what we believe in. We have that. And if we don't use our voice, just like what we were saying, if we not just using our vote, if we do not use our voice, one day we will be silenced.
That's right.
Exactly.
So we have this ability to say, I don't believe in this. I think this is nuts. And you have the opposite side has the ability to say, I think you're nuts too.
Exactly.
And then we go, good. Let's have chocolate.
I don't care.
Chocolate and champagne.
Some M&Ms.
I don't care if it's Republican or Democrat.
Yeah.
The idea of closing the border hurts a whole lot of American small business, not gas and oil.
Yeah.
But it does hurt small business.
But we do have to all stand up and take a stand. The word patriot has been misused over the last 5 years, I'm going to say. And, patriot is someone who loves their country and their fellow woman, as well. Thank you very much.
Hello, human.
Humankind.
Human, yes.
Human womankind. Well, everything's man. But, at the end of the day, when you look at it, we need to unite and communicate on all sides. We have to reach across the aisle. I'm tired of saying across the aisle, because we shouldn't have that. We shouldn't have a line in the sand. We shouldn't have a table. We should be having a party and discussing things. We should have open tables. Everybody sit down, have a conversation. Okay, I didn't see it this way. Okay, well, maybe I can calm down on that side. Maybe you can calm down on this part. I'll give you my rhubarb if you give me your parsnips from your
How about-
garden.
And Adam, you can have your rib back.
Yes, Adam. I know we're all going to get in trouble for that.
I mean, I think it's until we all realize that. And you hit the nail on the head with the word human, and I almost included this in my video that I did, was that, I almost put woman plus man equals human, because literally we are all humans. We're all humans. It doesn't matter what sex we are. It doesn't matter what color we are. It doesn't matter what religion we are. It doesn't matter.
Nope.
Because we're all part of the same race. And if we're not careful, we're not going to be around.
It's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Okay, we're going to play Heartbeat. And this is up. That's going around the Grammy. Yeah, before we get even more emails. Good for us all, and good for you, what you're doing, and good for us, having you go out there and champion these songs and get out there and tell everybody and sing it to them and get it under our psyche, because you start to sing the songs.
Oh, good.
You start to sing the songs and like, yeah, I can do this, man.
That's right.
Like your personal anthem, you can rise. Heartbeat. This is something that's going in the Grammy Circle thingy. What's going on with that?
Yeah, so Heartbeat is on the first round ballot for the 61st Grammy Awards. It's in Best Rock Song. So kind of tells you a little bit about how I'm going in terms of music-wise, because it is very telling from the album perspective. But yep, it's up for consideration, and this is just the first round for potentially getting a nomination. So we'll see how it does. But yeah, I'm excited and I'm happy because it's really, I think it's the 5th time I've gotten on the ballot, so I'm really excited about that. And we'll see what happens.
Right on. Well, I love it. I love Heartbeat.
Thank you.
Awesome. I love it. It was like, wow, Nicki, look at you. Like,
I know.
Wow. Yeah. So everybody, again, Rise, go get that. And also Heartbeat, go to her website, Nicki's website, NickiKris.com. It's NICKIKRIS, NickiKris.com. She's on Facebook, Twitter, all those places, Spotify, all those great streaming places. Keep up with her. Facebook, you'll be able to see her videos too. She's on YouTube as well. And thank you all for joining us here on Big Blend Radio. You can keep up with our shows and our schedule. Just go to bigblendradio.com. But here it is, Heartbeat. Thanks, Nicki. You rock. You stand up, and we're proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Firestorm in your eyes, nowhere to hide. I'm out of sight. You've been looking for a fight. I'm on a dead-end street. You're like a blinded light. Oh, when I'm caught up in your riptide, feels like I'm being buried alive. Oh, I'm a hostage to your greed. There's defeat in every heartbeat. Each new day feels like night. I choke for air in your web of lies. I am running out of time. Your knife cuts deep. I've been paralyzed. Oh, when I'm caught up in your riptide, feels like I'm being buried alive. Oh, I'm a hostage to your greed. There's defeat in every heartbeat. I've gotta fight through the fear. Things are not how they appear. I've got the truth on my side. You are not winning the war, 'cause I can take the